Hello and welcome to another Wineword Italy review. Today I'm going to review a further two wines from Forti del Vento near Ovada in Piemonte. First one, which is currently the only white wine produced at the Tenuta at Forti del Vento, is Piota, which is a Monferrato Bianco, in this case a 2009. And, secondly, it's called Ventipassi. It is a Monferrato Rosso, this one made from the Nibiò grape. So let's get straight on with wine number one. As I said, it's called Piota. Okay, it's a Monferrato Bianco. This one is made from 70% Cortese and 30% Sauvignon. Now, Sauvignon, being the international grape it is, probably doesn't need much introduction. However, the Cortese is possibly lesser known, so let's think a little bit about that varietal. It's claimed as native in the provinces of Alessandria, Novara, and also around Tortona, all in Piemonte, and the exact origin of it isn't known, so they all have a claim. It's certainly been grown in Piemonte since at least the 18th century, and in 1870 it was described as follows, and I've translated again, so forgive me if it's not perfect: a robust and productive variety, also prized for the goodness and the quality of its fruit, certainly worth putting under the careful attention of all good wine growers. End quote. So there it is. It's got quite a good write-up, even 140 years ago. If you've ever tried the slightly better known Gavi, that's Cortese. That's the grape that goes in there. So the majority, like I said, 70% of that in here. It's served 10 to 12 degrees. This one's been in the fridge all morning, so it's nice and cool. I don't want to hold it too much because it'll raise the temperature. 12.5% volume. Here's the back of the label. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, clear. I mean, we've got a clear glass bottle and a very, very clear wine. It's absolutely crystal, this wine. Okay. So here it is. Let's get some in the glass and think a little bit more about what we can do with this. Okay, nice little gloop there. Once again, it's in a 50 centiliter bottle, ideal for a couple out to dinner, and it gets the Monferrato Bianco Denominazione di Origine Protetta denomination. Okay, there it is on the back, and once again the beautiful logo of Forti del Vento, the kind of bovine outline there. Okay, 12.5% volume. There it is. The colour, absolutely light. Well, I'd say light gold. It's got a sort of certain warmth about it, even though it's really, really clear, and maybe a pale greenish hint too. The sun's reflecting nicely through that. So yes, a slight greenish hint, but it's a pale gold. It's not a silvery sort of aspect on this. Okay, let's get the nose in and see what this is about. I'll have to be honest and say this is the first time I've tried a Cortese blend or a Cortese wine of any kind, so I'm quite looking forward to this moment. Oh, that's lovely. I mean, I'd have to say in general I do prefer reds, but on a warm afternoon like this, a delicate sort of green vegetable, there's sort of leafiness about that scent there, and then maybe a citrus or even an exotic fruit background. Very, very, very fresh. That's the overall sensation there, freshness. Okay, well, let's not let it get warm. It's warm air today, so let's get the wine down while it's still at a drinkable temperature and see what the taste is. Cin-cin. Well, that's dry, but fresh. Very, very delicate taste. It's not the kind of wine I would want to glug down. It's a wine worth taking time over. Certainly, it's got an aromatic aftertaste. I can taste the fruitiness. I can taste the sort of citrus aspect there. It's very, very, very fresh and long-lasting. Let's have another go. Delightful freshness on a warm spring day. Very pleasant indeed. Once again, almost a crime not to have something good to eat with it. However, this would go equally well with something with starters. Start your meal with a glass of this. A soup, a light soup, not a sort of hearty broth or anything like that. A pasta dish, especially a vegetable-based pasta dish, or maybe something like a prawn salad. It would go very, very nicely with that. In fact, that's what's in my head now. I'm a very big fan of prawn salad, so picturing that together with this would be it's a pleasant image, shall we say. Or, failing that, something like a herby cream cheese might match nicely. Not a mature cheese of any kind, but just something creamy, herby, a fresh cheese. Okay, it's from Piemonte, but thinking of a French cheese to go with it, maybe Boursin or something like that, would be marvellous on a cracker or just a plain piece of dry bread. Get the full benefits of the cheese and the full benefits of the wine as well, without detracting from the flavour of either. So there it is. Fresh wine to go with your starter, first course, or a light seafood salad or something like that, and Piota. Oh, which incidentally, I didn't say what it meant. It's a Piemontese phrase. Roughly translated into Italian, it comes out as somebody who is in gamba, which means capable, able, very switched on, or on the ball. So possibly this is a wine which claims to be on the ball. It's certainly very switched on. It's bright, it's light, it's refreshing. And once again, a treat from those at Forti del Vento. Okay, up next we have Forti del Vento, Ventipassi Monferrato DOP. This one takes its name, very simply, from the distance between the edge of a field and the pole of the first vine trellis. Literally 20 paces, Ventipassi. This one is produced from 100% Nibiò, or Nebbiolo as it's known in Italian, a varietal that almost died out because of its relatively low yield. The past emphasis on quantity over quality discouraged most growers from planting or even maintaining existing vineyards. As a result, it's long been regarded as a rather poor cousin of the Dolcetto, which it is actually closely related to, but the Nibiò is now the subject of a very strong revival. I've been doing a bit of research. There's even an association which was set up in 2007 to encourage, promote and re-establish this varietal. And above here you'll see the email address if you're keen to find out any more. Okay, so let's get on with this one. Okay, it is harvested in mid to late September. Okay, the vinification takes place again in stainless steel vats for 2 to 3 weeks, and fermentation is continued on fine lees for a minimum of 6 months. Then the good news, ladies and gents, it spends a year maturing in lightly toasted oak barrels. Ooh. Now then, I may be doing this particular bottle a slight disservice. It's a 2009, and from what I've read and what I've heard, the Nibiò grape produces a wine which is at its best between 4 and 7 or 8 years. So therefore I might be jumping the gun. However, as this is the only bottle I have, I've got little choice. I'll possibly speak to the producers when I see them, when I get to meet them very shortly in Geneva, and make a bit of a request for either an older one or say a couple more please, and I'll put them in store and do it full justice. But anyway, here it is. Okay, the Nibiò or Nebbiolo grape, that's what's in here. Okay, let's pop some in the glass. Absolutely delightful glug, and a very, very intense ruby red. Look at that. I don't know if you get the light through there at all. It's ruby all the way up. There's not even a sort of violet edge to that. It's a dark, dark, wholesome looking wine, and I can see the alcohol coming up the glass. The labelling actually suggests a 15% level of alcohol. I'm not sure if that's right. Well, maybe it is. That's possibly why it's rising on the glass so well. It's not a particularly hot afternoon. We've had some very hot weather, and then storms last night have dropped the temperature noticeably, but still you can see the alcohol rising well up the glass there. Okay, once again, Nibiò is another new varietal to me, so again I'm hoping for a treat in store when I get my nose in here. So let's get the nose in. That's made my mouth water immediately. It's a combination of things. It's immediately spicy. I don't know whether that's the barrels or a typical attribute of the grape, but certainly that's the first suggestion. A kind of peppery, vanilla-y spice there. It's delightfully warm, and then a heavy red fruit background where we're talking blackberries and black cherries. It's really, really full, fruity back end there as well. And surprisingly, the alcohol is not dominant. It's not doesn't take anything away at all. In fact, I can't really smell it. No. So marvelous, and it's such a dark, dark colour. It's like dragon's blood, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's if such a thing existed, of course. Yes. Okay. Let's get a taste in and see if the wondrous nose continues into the taste. Cin-cin. Well, if we could compare full flavours to public transport, that would be like a city centre bus on market day, absolutely packed with flavour. Absolutely packed. And again, it's several things at once. It's warm, the sort of spicy element is there. It's fresh, the fruity element, but it's gentle. I mean, the tannins that have come from the skin of the grape, and possibly also the barrel has lent something to them. They're warm, but they're not overpowering. And I can certainly understand why people would like to keep this, let it age a bit more before drinking it. I'm very sorry, bottle, I have opened you too soon. But it's good anyway, guys, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just it's a shame to anticipate something that could even get better. But there we go. Such are the joys of tasting wine. Oh, that's delightful. The pepperiness is totally pleasant. Totally pleasant. Right. All round wonderful. Now, what am I going to say we can eat this with? Well, I think it's probably obvious from what I've said, but a medium mature cheese, Doesn't have to be too mature, because at the moment this is relatively young wine, but maybe as it ages, something a bit more mature. Failing that, barbecue meats, grilled meats, roast dinner, anything like that. Possibly not ideal on a day like today, not the roast. The barbecue would be perfect, but there it is. So, our offers for today: and Piota, Monferrato Bianco, 70% Cortese, 30% Sauvignon, clear, fresh, light, absolutely splendid. Or, on the heartier end of things, the Ventipassi Monferrato Rosso, 100% Nibiò, or Nebbiolo, if we're thinking in Italian. A real pair of Piemontese treats. I've enjoyed reviewing them. I hope you've appreciated the review. I'll see you very soon on Wineword Italy Reviews. Cin-cin.